Hello and welcome to Game 2 in this Premier Amateur Community League game between Questionable 5 and neonCore. neonCore, this game, have elected to take choose Radiant, so they do get second pick this time. Or rather, Questionable 5 pick up the first pick this time. And neonCore go for pretty much the same bans as they did before. They get rid of the PL, Monkey King, and the Arc Warden, although in a different order this time. Questionable 5, same two first bans, but they do get rid of the Axe in this case. Questionable 5, they do lead with the Earthshaker as their pickup, so completely new game in terms of the way that they're going to go ahead and play it. Not Radiant, but neonCore. They say, this worked last time, we're going to go for the same thing. Not going to be able to get the Axe, we're just pick up the Doom instead and have our Silencer as our 5 position and have the Doom in the offlane taking the place of that Axe. Not as strong of an offlaner, but still, relatively dominating versus, at least versus AM style carries. More active early carries, Doom can get zoned out pretty easily. So we'll have to see how that gets laned and how that turns out for neonCore. But Questionable 5, what do they want to pick up at this point? They have their Earthshaker. Venge is still on the table. Earthshaker Venge is a pretty strong duo and would prevent neonCore from getting it again. But at the same time, maybe they don't care. Like, they seem like they didn't really end up feeling like the Venge was destroying them at any point. Or Question 5 didn't feel like Venge was destroying them at any point. And they say, we're going to let neonCore have the Venge if they want it. We're going to pick up the Ursa here in the first phase. So he can be in the off lane. And that might be where he goes. Could go in the safe lane as well. But being flexible like that does mean that Questionable 5 still have the opportunity to pick from a fairly wide hero pool of hard counters, depending on how neonCore pick. But the Invoker is banned out by Questionable 5 here in the second banning phase. Same as before. Questionable 5's bans are, both teams' bans are really just sticking to the script of the previous game. In which case, I would expect this. What was it last time in this ban? There was something, and then Meepo in this phase for neonCore's bans. What was the something? Was it the Necro? No, Necro was banned by Questionable 5. I don't remember what neonCore banned at this point in the previous game. But they're going to go ahead and ban the Mirana. Definitely wasn't that. So a new ban out of... Maybe they did ban... No. neonCore did ban the Broodmother last time, and Questionable 5 banned the Necro. So potentially the neonCore could pick the Necro in this game. It'll be a little bit early to pick it, and if there's a really strong Spirit Vessel carrier that Questionable 5 do pick up afterwards, then it might not be the greatest, but he still will dominate his lane pretty much regardless of who he's laning against. So could be worthwhile. I do think that neonCore have to draft better lanes in order to be able to win this game against Questionable 5. But they're going to go ahead and take some time, figure out what they want to get rid of. They're going to get rid of the Shadow Shaman. Interesting. So the Meepo is still on the table, as is the Necro and the Centaur. Well, Centaur is not on the table for neonCore. Not with a Doom. Like, Doom can't really be your safe lane. But Questionable 5 could pick up the Centaur. That does leave them a little bit vulnerable to an Undying, but there is no Undying. Leaves them a little bit vulnerable to an OD. Oh yeah, OD was the ban from 5 seconds remain. Questionable 5. No, from neonCore last time, instead of the Mirana. But yeah, I'm not sure. We'll just have to see how Payday and BDD decide they want to take these drafts, because there's a lot of directions they could go. I'm still gonna stand by the Necro. Like, I think that is gonna be just a really strong pick for neonCore at this point. They won't give it away, but they're gonna take the Spirit Breaker.
Welcome to game 2 in this premiere.
Oops. All right, fixed. So the Spirit Breaker is the pickup for neonCore. They have a lot of global presence at this point, and the Spirit Breaker roaming means that maybe they're able to win more lanes, just depending on where they put the Spirit Breaker, since he can move between those lanes so quickly.
10 seconds to pick.
But that's a big maybe.
5 seconds remain.
Breaker is not a very strong static laner. It's just the threat of him being places that makes him strong. So if Questionable 5 are able to make plays off of Breaker being elsewhere and actually show that sort of level of counter initiative in other places, then Q5 should be okay versus this Breaker at this point. And they have fairly good heroes dealing with it. Like the silence is not really likely to ever prevent an echo. Oh, okay. So Crystal Maid immediately picked up from Questionable 5. I do like this hero with the Earthshaker and the Ursa. Having that flat mana regen does mean that they're just able to cast spells constantly. But the Venomancer is then picked up immediately for neonCore. And this has to be either a mid or a safe lane Venomancer. I would probably lean towards it being a safe lane Venomancer based on the way that things were played at TI. But I don't know. It might even just be a Venomancer that goes wherever Ursa is. That's probably actually what's happening. Like, wherever Questionable 5 decide to lane the Ursa, neonCore are going to put the Venomancer. And they don't really care where that is. They'll just move things around. Necro is picked up now. So Necro just a constant lane winner. So hard to lane against. Venomancer might be an okay laner versus Necro. What's your base damage? Your base damage is pretty good. Like, what? 54 with a talisman? So
10 seconds to pick.
you should be okay versus the Necro early, but then once it gets a couple of levels, like, Necro's int gain is just so ridiculous. And the OD is banned once again. That's very strange. I wonder what neonCore are considering the OD to be, because Necro is almost certainly mid, although I guess he could be in the off lane. Maybe that's what neonCore are playing at. Like, they expect Necro to be in the off lane, since they might have maybe a little more familiar with Questionable 5's playstyle. But yeah, that's a really weird ban. I'm curious about where that's coming from. But Questionable 5, they have gone ahead and gotten into their bonus time for their final ban. I think they want to get rid of... I was kind of thinking TA, actually, but they're going to go ahead and get rid of the Storm. Makes more sense getting rid of the Storm to prevent the amount of close that would be available with the Storm and the Spirit Breaker both versus the Sniper. And they're going to go ahead and get that Sniper almost certainly for the mid lane. So they're going to be putting Necro in the off lane, it looks like, with Ursa safe, or potentially Necro safe with Ursa off, although I think that's probably not as strong in most circumstances. It just depends on, yeah, especially against the Venomancer. But at the same time, it does feel like neonCore just want to put Venomancer wherever Ursa is. So, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. And for the mid lane, I still think TA would be pretty strong if they have a TA player, which I don't know whether they ever play that hero. Clinks. Interesting. I normally like Clinks just because of the sheer damage output that he does, but I don't... Excuse me. I don't think he's as good here as he normally is. There's still a good amount of frontline for neonCore. There's a good amount of damage. There's a good amount of tower push, especially with the Clinks coming in. I mean, their draft is not bad. Like, it feels mean, it feels like a fine draft. Just it doesn't feel super cohesive, right? Yet. I mean, maybe I'm just not seeing something that I'll have to see, but it does feel like neonCore are gonna have some difficulties when it comes to actually picking people off and taking team fights, because like Clinks, yeah, that's what feels so off about it. Like they have a really strong team fight lineup, and then for their damage dealer they have a Clinks, right? But they do have much stronger lanes this time. So like I said before, the lanes were sort of an issue in the previous game, and neonCore, I mean, they just lost all their lanes and then lost the game, right? So maybe picking some just stronger laners, even if the overall team composition isn't as cohesive, is going to be the way for them to play this. But we'll have to see. I can pontificate all day long about who would win. Now we have to see who does. All right, let's see who's playing on whom and where they're going to go. If we take a look over here, Control is going to be going on that 4-position Earthshaker. BDD playing on that 5-position Crystal Maiden. 70 going into the top lane, it looks like, as a safe lane Ursa. Mid being picked up by Pink Tops, or Mid Sniper being picked up by Pink Tops, and off lane, wait. Interesting. Unundefined was the carry player in the previous game. Now he's playing in the 3 position on the Necrophos in the off lane. And it looks like there's going to be a bit of a clash in top. Smoke was used to make this happen. For neonCore, they have DMC playing on the offlane Doom. They have Baboon playing on the Spirit Breaker. He wants to get all of the runes. Chupacabra playing in that 5-position Silencer once again. Payday playing on the mid Venomancer this time. And no, he's just blocking for Smiley's. So Smiley's going mid on the Clinks, but Payday is blocking in mid for Smiley before going safe lane on the Venomancer. There's going to be some movement here onto BDD. Has the Arcane Curse on him. Was already slowed up, but that means there's no bashes available. Gets to slow onto the enemy team. Looks like he's trying. Oh, no, he just gives up. All right. Baboon gets the first blood. I said looks like he's trying to try to die to the tower and just waste as much time as possible. Maybe he just wanted to die and start walking out to lane instead. But it does look like that's going to be, once again, 2 and 2. And actually it's going to be off lane neonCore. So they did wait to see. They wanted to see where Ursa was going. They figured it out. Now they put neonCore in the off lane on that 1-position Venomancer, and then solo safe lane DMC playing on the Doom. So they do lane this, I think, in the best way that they can, given their heroes. Potentially you swap out the Clinks with the Venomancer, but I think Clinks is probably going to be okay versus Sniper. And Venomancer is going to have a much, much more comparative advantage, like, against the Ursa. But at the same time, 70 says, I'm not playing against a friggin' Venomancer. You crazy? No, I'm just going to go into the off lane. I'm going to walk here. Then I can TP if necessary, right? Right now, Control's the only one here. Is going to try to get his level 2 up, but DMC... Yeah, I mean, he got XP for 1 creep kill. And now Control's going to go ahead and take that. So DMC's like, I'm going to go ahead and walk away. Maybe. Maybe I'm going to walk back in. I'm not sure. I got to think about it. And it looks like in mid lane, Smiley doing an alright job. 4-0 to 2-1. Holding off Pink Tops for the time being. But now Payday and Baboon, this isn't really where they want to be, but they're going to go for it. They're going to have the charge here now, out onto Undefined. He's going to throw out the Death Pulse, but he's still in level 1. However, our Crystal Nova comes in, and that is going to be with the move speed and attack speed slow, enough to ensure that Undefined survives. He is still level 1, though, so even with this, even with this CS, he's not going to have Ghost Shroud. With the next one, he will. Yep. Although he's actually going to get the Heartstopper aura. So really, really greedy there. Not having their Ghost Shard is going to make it much, much easier for neonCore to be able to win this lane. Yeah, I mean, if they're able to get a kill early and just keep him at level 2, especially since level 3 is much more cost in terms of XP now. So Earthshaker just tanking up a little bit of damage from the Infernal Blade, but he's got plenty of regen. He's okay with it for the time being. And ensuring that Ursa's able to farm. better than he would be in the top lane. Like, this is an amazing farm for Ursa, but if he was up here versus this Venomancer, Spearbreaker lane, he would have died like 3 times already. Maybe 2. There's the charge here out on Undefined. It is still level 2, so he has a Death Pulse, but no Ghost Shroud. Now there's going to be, once again, another Crystal Nova coming in. Throws out the Venomous Gale to slow down BDD and do a little bit of damage over time, but it's a fairly small tick. DMC actually gets the kill here, out onto 70. I was not expecting DMC to be able to get a kill on this Doom in lane at all. I wonder how that happened. I entirely missed it. That is my bad for sure. Pink Tops, meanwhile, farming up pretty well, holding his own against the Clinks, 13-3 to 11, or 11-3 to the 13-3 of Clinks. So about as well as you can reasonably expect as a sniper, I think. And everyone just playing a little bit passively for the time being. And just some minor harass coming out in each lane, but not a whole lot. But I think that does actually favor Questionable 5 this time. I think that neonCore need to be playing the way Questionable 5 were playing last game. They got to be in it. They got to be balls deep all the time, and or at least 90% of the time. Not let Pink Tops, not let Questionable 5 just farm it up. And it looks like maybe they're going to try and make that happen here. There's a charge here out on Undefined. He's going to throw out the Death Pulse. Has level 2 Death Pulse. Still no Ghost Shroud, so a couple right clicks are enough. And he is going to end up going down. There's going to be movement here in for the Crystal Nova, but it looks like BDD was potentially over in the side looking for a pull. So was not able to help immediately, allowing for that kill to go off. Pink Top's going to be able to find an Illusion Rune out here. What's he getting in the Courier? Salve? Alright, alright. Has some regen there. Level 2 charge, level 2 venomous gale. Alright, so they're going to try for another bit of play. They do see BDD, which means they're going to be looking for... Do they? They should. They don't quite see him. They certainly expect it. DMC is able to... Where did he... He was under the tower. So the deaths here, it looks like, are coming primarily from 70 being a little bit over-aggressive. Chupacabra, same thing. Control does have another fissure available. It's going to hook, I think, get it off. Running down Chupacabra, looking for... looking for the enchant, but is potentially going to get turned around on. Chupacabra gets the shrine off. And now Control's able to pick up the rune in bottom lane. So 2 for 2. But not the 2 you would, I think, typically expect for these runes. 70 looks like he's trying to get some, so he's trying to stack up Fury swipes on DMC, but DMC's level 5 at this point, so he just hits him once with the Infernal Blade. I think that's what's going on in this lane, because that Infernal Blade is doing so much here. Like, that was like 200 damage, including the right click. Now, Control's getting chased down. More right click actually should be enough. Yeah, that's the end. Control's able to get a couple of stacks off, but there's going to be another Infernal Blade in 1 second. Gonna cast it. There it goes. Control, or DMC, is going to get slowed up for a little bit. There's 7 swipes now, but not going to be able to hit that second Earth Shock. Does consume the Mango even to try to get it. 7-0 now, having to run away. It's going to get slowed up by the Arcane Curse. Silenced up by the Last Word. He's going to be able to get back under his tower before he dies and does not tick out to the Arcane Curse either. So, an attempt to try to turn around that kill, but DMC is just so tanky right now. Has 6 armor with that Toughness Aura. And the Toughness Aura is really doing so much, I feel like. The bonus armor of 3. Didn't they used to give 2 regen as well? But they moved that over onto big satyrs. I think that's what happened. Control sitting over here looking for a turnaround or looking for a gank on mid lane, but Chupacabra does see him and forces him out back to his own side of the map. Says GTFO, this is my carry's place to be. You are not allowed. Control says, all right, oh, back away. I'll be back, though. And you won't like it when I'm back. So, 70. Just getting Arcane Cursed up a little bit. Losing a tiny amount of HP for it. Not really super relevant. Smiley able to... That was a really, really long auto attack to finish him off. Damn. Almost outranged sniper there. Only 1 point in take aim, so that's not super unreasonable. Looks like now Undefined might go down as well. Does have the Ghost Shard now, but already has used it. BDD has used the Crystal Nova, but doesn't have anything else. Doesn't matter. The charge comes out. Undefined able to turn it around and kill off the Speedbreakers. Tries to charge away. Throwing out the Death Pulse, getting some last hits, healing up with that Sadist Aura, or Death Pulse Aura is what it is now. Now with the rotation in, Undefined actually is able to dodge the Venomous Gale. Payday looking for a movement, and Chupacabra actually comes in to ensure that this is going to work out. TP back, Chupacabra sacrifices himself to make sure that Venomancer is able to TP away, so he's alright with that, I think. So far, lanes are mildly in favor of neonCore. I wouldn't say they're majorly in favor yet, but they're holding the way they need to. I don't know if they're getting enough done. I think these lanes have to be more convincing for neonCore to be able to win the game, because Questionable 5 are going to be able to run at them and to scale better here in the next 10-15 minutes. So here's some movement out. Undefined actually is caught on the wrong side of the shards or the fissure, but it doesn't matter. The fissure was really only meant to get the Crystal Maiden out. Now with an enchant totem and some right clicks from Undefined, that's gonna be the end of the Spearbreaker as well. And it was a side kill, yeah, Reaper Scythe kill onto the Clinks, so he's dead forever. It's an extra, what, like 30 seconds level 1? It's an extra 15 seconds level 1. It's not quite as ridiculous as it used to be, but it's still up there. Like 15, 30, 45. That's still insane. Like an extra 45 seconds on the sidelines. At least you can't disable. Oh, with that level 4 shrapnel, Pink Top's able to get a kill as Silencer tries to rotate in to get some XP. Fissure out here, preventing the charge immediately after it gets cast. Also gonna throw out the enchant totem to get that aftershock proc, and that will be the end of the the attempted aggression by neonCore in that jungle space. Excuse me, I had to take a drink of water here. There was an assassinate, but it hit, but the death pact was enough to
More death.
neonCore getting another kill here onto the Ursa in the bottom lane. That's really going to be something I think that hurts Questionable 5 here in the mid game. Ursa is not having the lane that he'd like to have, and there's not really any circumstance under which he has the lane that he'd like to have with the matchups that are available to him. Like if he wasn't against this Doom Silencer, he'd be against the Venomancer. So a lot of the laning for neonCore is sort of centered around making sure that Ursa does not have a good game. So it's essential that they get that to happen, and they have. So, you know, kudos to them. They're playing out their draft, at least part of their draft, the way they need to play it. And drum is coming up for DMC. So with the drum coming out, and the tread's nearly finished on top of the medallion. Looks like Tranquil's froze. Yeah, he's gonna get frozen up here. They're just gonna trade a couple of spells, but it's not gonna mean anything. Urn is finished, and yeah. So it looks like with the items coming out that neonCore have picked, it looks like they're getting ready to group here shortly. Like they probably are gonna group up here at like 13 and a half minutes, I would expect. Unless they're waiting for more items on top of what they have. But I think they're just waiting for treads out of Smiley in order to go take some buildings and get a bit of a cash injection for the rest of the heroes. DMC with the drum. Looks like he's going for the Shadowblade next. The Shadowblade is, I mean, it's going to let him get in as long as there are no sentries and get that Doom off. I'm not sure if it's really the best. And 2 attacks. Yep, 2 attacks are going to happen. Smiley is able to get that courier finished. Looks like he's trying to go on to Pink Tops as well. Pink Tops taking a lot of damage, but it's not going to be enough to get the kill. Has already switched over to the Strength Treads. Now he's throwing out an Assassinate. Just getting a little bit of damage. Actually, just getting a little bit Raindrop harass off. Keep that Raindrop from being at 3 charges anymore. Bring it down to 2. Definitely worth your entire mana pool, right? Right? I think it's worth your, well, half your mana pool. Probably worth half your mana pool. Gonna do it again. But now there's only 1 Raindrop left, and Smiley's actually taking quite a bit of damage. Top lane, there's gonna be a trade, it looks like. Payday taking out Undefined, but Undefined finishing off, finishing off Spirit Breaker afterwards. So I guess he got a Death Pulse off. Or maybe it was a Scythe. Yeah, it was a Scythe. So the Scythe just wasn't finished to getting the kill. But 70 pulling the creeps away. neonCore waiting up on the high ground to keep that from going on. Gonna throw out the Doom immediately, as well as the Infernal Blade, trying to hold him in place. And actually, it looks like it's gonna work with the Doom. Not even getting any procs on the Fury swipes. I didn't realize it was that ridiculous. It's casting spells or using items. I think that shouldn't be disabling passives, since it doesn't say it, but it is the case. Undefined taking quite a bit of damage. That Infernal Blade looks like Control is looking for a play here. There is going to be the Fissure out, holding DMC in place. He actually is not able to get out of these trees from where they are due to the lack of any tangos or a Quelling Blade, but not going to get chased into the trees, so he's going to be okay with that juke play. Yasha finished up now for Pink Tops, electing to sort of skip the HP regen. Oh man, now he's able to just strafe it off. Yeah, I totally forgot strafe would dodge that. That's actually ridiculous in lane. And in the mid and late game too. Like if you're aware, you don't have to burn a smoke or anything, you just strafe. Like that's all it takes. Cast 1 spell that lets you attack after dodging the spell. That has only a 15-second cooldown. Seems great. Roshan does go the way of 70, and now questionable 5 are going to start grouping up, it looks like. And that's probably exactly what they want to do. They want to make sure that, I mean, they don't want to force neonCore into fighting them with all of their heroes directly, but they want to try and get some push-offs. So maybe this Aegis is more aimed at just making sure that they have 1 down, they're able to get the Refresher Shard and the Refresher Shard and Cheese sooner, they know when it was. Sorry, I was taking a drink there. So, bottom lane. There was a kill by Doom onto Necrophos. Wait, what was? Oh, that was over here. I thought that was going to be a dead Venomancer for sure, but not coming on the backside. We do lose, or Smiley's able to kill off the sniper as well. Global comes out. I'm not sure. I think that was probably to prevent any Echo Slam shenaniganry while Clinks was still really close. But Payday looks like he does have his Dragonlance finished, working towards the Hurricane Pike, the full Hurricane Pike, and now bottom tower is finished off in favor of neonCore. So not able to be quite as tempo controlling and aggressive as questionable 5 were last game, but this should still be okay for them. There's going to be the charge coming in, as well as the last word holding or preventing him from using his ethereal. And even with the Crystal Nova coming in, it's not enough slow to keep neonCore from just running away. Has the phase boots and drums for all of the move speed in the world. So it's going to be really, really difficult for anybody to actually hold this Doom in place long enough, especially on questionable 5 side. It can be really hard for anybody to hold the Clinks in long enough to or not the Clinks, the Doom in long enough to kill him down. Able to find a cross kill here onto the Crystal Maiden, and that should be, might be a tier 2. Might just be some trying to lure away some heroes so that Clinks can get a tier 1. He's looking at what creeps are available looks like. And he's gonna go for it. I'm surprised. One more attack would have been sufficient, however. Now he has to get out there. It's gonna be the Echo burned, but Smiley is totally okay at this point. Just goes to the north. And we do hear Ursa finishing off the silencer. So an attempted kill in the jungle, but Ursa just TPs in and gets silencer down instead. So at this point, I do feel like Questionable 5 are ahead in the draft. Like, they have the better scaling team. They're only 1k behind at 18 minutes. It's 7-14, but they're still only down 1 tower. Not even down 1 tower. They're actually up 1 tower. They've only lost 1 tower. Only lost 1. But now it looks like Smiley is looking for undefined. neonCore sitting in the area, does not have his Hex or his Orchid finished, but with the Global, doesn't matter. Global's actually expended there to try to make sure that Necro goes down. But with the Global down, 70 is going to be able to just walk into the jungle with impunity with this Aegis and his Earthshaker behind him. And looks like they're just going to go for the building play. So turning a loss into a play of their own. Smoke was used. DMC now has had a Shadow Blade finish for a little bit. There's going to be the last word coming out, and the silence does connect. However, with the fissure stopping the charge, oh man, just on the very edge there, the Nether Strike range. One more bash will do it. It might not even be needed. Just going to go ahead and tick down to DMC. Blink? Yep, blink away from 7-0 when he comes back with the Aegis, but he's going to get charged down, and the Doom is going to be used, followed up by the Infernal Blade. There's also Ice Armor available, should Ursa try to turn on him, but not even going to make the attempt. Knows that he doesn't have any Furious Stripes available. Tries to walk away, but it's not going to happen. And now, damn. Necro taking so much damage there between the last word and the Arcane Curse and the Infernal Blade. Takes him down from full to under half, even at this point, almost a quarter HP. Just from that one set of dots and right click. That was an insane amount of damage. It didn't all actually happen right away, but it was still completely ridiculous, like just how much they were able to do. 1 or 2 more real right clicks or 1 more Infernal Blade, and Undefined almost certainly was just dead to rights. But he had a team behind him, so it was not going to happen. At least not beneath a tier 2 mid when the tier 1's still up. Like, if it happened, that would just be sad. We'd all be sad for whoever died here when this building was still alive. Oh man, looks like Undefined's gonna go for the Radiance build, and actually he has it. He's already got that recipe on the courier, and it's, you know, a little bit later than you'd absolutely like to have it, but not the worst timing in the world. Especially since he did go for Treads, Wand, and 2 Nullies first. Like, it's okay. Probably good even in terms of timing. But now that Orchid is finished up for Clink, so he's looking for a kill in the dire jungle, but nobody is alone right now for Questionable 5, and there's a smoke that comes out for them as well. And it looks like they're looking for mid lane. They want to go on to Payday. Undefined coming in, turns off the Radiance for the time being. Now he's immediately as Venno pikes up onto the high ground, the Scythe comes out immediately, and there's plenty of damage to hold in place. Blink forward, blink revealed, it looks like, on the Earthshaker, and also blink forward from Ursa. Silence is used, as well as a last word, trying to just slow down 70 enough that Chupacabra is able to get away, and that is the case, in fact. Meanwhile, mid lane, there's going to be a kill. Looks like BDD doing a lot there with his freezing field. The kill does go to DMs, or rather, the kill does go to pink tops, which is probably better, honestly. Like, what are you gonna do with 600 gold on a Crystal Maiden? Well, probably buy a hood, or not a hood, but a cloak.
Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
There was a little bit of a threat there for an assassinate coming out from pink tops, but I'm not going to follow through on that. And at this point, they are potentially able to get this tier 2 in middle down. There is going to be a Doom alive again here in 10 seconds, but there's no global silence for over a minute still at this point, which is probably going to be ideal for them. There's going to be Blink Echo out onto Smiley, but with the charge as well as the movement forward from Payday coming in and using that Poison Nova, that's going to be just an immediate, not immediate, but a very, very fast turnaround in favor of neonCore, able to take that fight very convincingly, knowing that 70 wasn't there and probably suspecting the Undefined wasn't as well, just going for the pick and able to get 3 for 0. And that's exactly how neonCore have to be playing right now. Like they have to do that, and then they have to go take buildings and force that fight again, and just keep doing it over and over. The same way that Questionable 5 were sort of running the game, or running the last game, controlling that tempo very effectively.
Earlier this year, wrote a 40-page book that's a setting guide for colonial Africa gunpowder setting. With a bunch of custom races and custom classes.
But at this point, neonCore, they're farming up the enemy jungle. Looks like they're maybe trying to position for a pickoff into a Roche play. They're looking for Ursa here. They're going to be able to get him. Fissure comes out. Fissure is in the right place, hold him in place, but the Soul Burn is enough to finish him off. So with the Soul Burn, looks like the response from neonCore is going to be, or with the kill onto Ursa, neonCore are going to push into the mid lane. They should still be able to go back and Roche, though, now that they've been denied that mid lane play. But it looks like maybe they're going to try for the mid lane anyway. They're moving forward. Actually, Doom was really far forward right there. Throws out the Doom. Global comes out as well, but not soon enough. The Freezing Field does a ton of damage, as well as the Assassinate, which at this point, I mean, level 2, it's not huge, but plenty of time there was to get that global out. Maybe the global just wasn't available yet. However, there's going to be now another assassinate coming through. That's a really, really ridiculously long range. They did reveal a ward, however. Blink forward by control after Fissure, getting the secondary stun off out of the Aftershock, and that does make enough time for Undefined to walk forward and get that scythe off. So now there's going to be a movement into Roche by Questionable 5, and this is going to go down very quickly with the Ursa and Pink Top sitting in here. What felt like it could be a turnaround moment for neonCore Questionable 5. They kept their cool, they kept their heads in, and made it work. They held their buildings and got Roshan. Put the Aegis here onto Pink Tops this time, as well as the Cheese onto Undefined. So he's able to get able to be walking forward, getting that Death Pulse and Ghost Shroud, and the Ghost Shroud into Cheese. Plenty of opportunity to make things happen there. Once again, just throwing out a casual Assassinate, and you can do that so easily when you have a Crystal Maiden on your team. Like, this is what, an extra 1.3 mana regen. So right now his total mana regen is 6.3, so he can cast an Assassinate every 30 seconds without any ill effects. It's pretty rad, as I think Mr. Pinktops.rad Industries would agree. 7-0. Oh, I have not seen a Vlad's in a very long time. I think it's actually all right here. There's a lot of physical damage coming out of Smiley, but not a whole lot of physical damage otherwise. Yeah, Infernal Blade is magical as well. So
I'm many years out from that being a concern for me.
I'm not. I mean, the bonus armor is nice, and giving the extra lifesteal. I didn't realize it gave the bonus attack damage to nearby allies as well. That must have been changed after it fell out of the meta. But I mean, I think it's reasonable when you're playing the 3 position to pick that up for your team. It's not an item that gets much use anymore. But yeah, just having that extra armor, especially when you want to be controlling the game the way that Questionable 5 are going to want to now that they're sort of hitting their peak and trying to take, claw back whatever lead was able to be picked up by neonCore and take the lead of their own to just push to end and win, which is even necessary. Like, the later this game goes, the easier Questionable 5 should find it to win. Only problem is, like, it's still pretty easy for Smiley to pick people off, especially with the global helping and with the charge coming in from Baboon.
I'm so mad at myself.
So Questionable 5 are going to have difficulty keeping up in farm if they take it late, but once it gets ultra late, where it doesn't, like, when everyone has full slots anyway, like, Questionable 5 are totally happy with that. So they do want to try to take the lead and just end the game now, but if they don't, they're in a pretty solid place to just hold, 60 minutes and let it be as it is. Looks like this game is about to get started back on its way. So what is each team going to do with that pause time? Looks like Smiley just going to go ahead and farm up. So Questionable 5, they're pushing in the bottom lane. Want to get this tier 1 down. It looks like it's pretty tasty looking. And there is not a fort available for Radiant right now. They may or may not be aware of that. It's only down for a minute. Smiley looking for people in the jungle. Not going to find anybody immediately, but he might run into 70. Nah, 70's just going to TP. He's like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and take these creeps by TPing. I don't really care about whatever you're trying to do. Smiley is still, he's throwing a ward down. It's a pretty nice ward for pushing in. Like, neonCore, they still know what they want to do here as well. They're going to try for the play here onto Ursa, get a lot of damage here. The soul burn should be enough to take him out at this point. And it is. But for that kill, that's going to be tier 1 down, tier 2 being threatened, and undefined just kills off that creep wave and heals his own so quickly. And it does look like this tier 2 is going to go down. Charge coming in onto Pink Tops. Pink Tops has the Aegis, so he can definitely afford to take that charge. Some movement here by DMC and Chupacabra. But the charge was spotted out by this ward over here. And while definitely taking the charge would have been okay, Pink Tops didn't feel like he really wanted to. This tier 2 mid does go down. Smiley's able to take it off, and now he's TPing in to try to join this fight. So neonCore potentially are going to be able to get a lot out of this right now. Charge is going to be available again very shortly. In fact, it's available again now. neonCore coming in. There's a global. Going to try to go here on the Sniper. Throws out the Orchid, but wait. Oh, the Shadow Blade. He did not have the Sentry. Throws it down, but it's not going to be enough, or not going to be soon enough. BDD ends up being the sacrifice for his team, but everyone else is out. Global's used, so now Aegis, since it's still available, Pink Tops or Questionable 5 probably are just going to go ahead and walk at them again. Like, they have the sustain, they have the damage. They don't have the gold lead, but I feel like they have the initiative lead right now. And yeah, Dota Plus. Actually, Dota Plus doesn't quite agree. They do think that that neonCore are going to be ahead very, very slightly with that hold, but I don't know. It's really hard to push up the high ground against a Sniper, and sort of the timing window that neonCore had to do that is ending. Certainly, they can get pickoffs, and there can be mistakes coming out from Questionable 5 to make that happen, but I don't know if it's it's not a guarantee. Like, it does feel like neonCore, like neonCore's game isn't in their hands anymore. Like, they are not the ones who get to choose who wins. It's going to depend on who makes more mistakes rather than how well they play. And they have to play better, right? But they have to rely on mistakes happening. And a lot of that just is due to the windows that exist. Like, Questionable 5, they're able to hold and bring their timing into play. And it does look like neonCore, they recognize that. They know that they can't really play into this Aegis. They have to wait for it to expire, which should be here in 30 seconds. And once that Aegis does expire, I think they have to go. They are going to have the global silence at that point. And the Death Pact was just used by Smiley. There's a lot of sentries around, though. He might actually just get picked off here. He's seen, but he does not move forward. He's going to go for the Crystal Maiden. And with That's going to be a very easy pick off with the mute or with the Doom combo. Now the 2 heroes get doomed in every fight with between the Orchid and the Nullifier, presuming no BKBs come out. And I have not seen any BKBs in the building. Aegis has expired now. No BKB being built by anybody on questionable 5 at this point. So that probably is going to be, you know, the kind of thing that neonCore are going to be able to need to happen for them to be able to exploit and win this game. Because I do feel like if BKBs were coming out on the cores right now for questionable 5, that they would just win hands down. Because it's not entirely easy to dodge the Nullifier, but it's not the hardest thing to dodge either. Like right there probably was pretty easy. And actually 70 comes in, throws out the dust. There's going to be the blink forward. Global silence is used. That does prevent the echo from coming in, and that's really, really good, honestly. Like it's really hard to do that. There's going to be the global or the ult coming out from Venomancer. Pink Top's taking a lot of damage. He does not have the Aegis anymore, so he's just going to die here now. Tick down between the Infernal Blade and the Venomous Gale. Now there's the Doom coming out, preventing any damage really from the freezing field. Control 70 is getting controlled. Not able to get quite up onto the hill from the ult from Baboon, but he is going to be held in place long enough for Smiley to come back in with that Doom combo and take him down. So neonCore, they play exactly, you know, they do what they need to do. They got waited for the Aegis to expire and then went to make a play. And without BK, and you know, got their pick off, took the team fight. Without BKBs, that is just what's going to happen, right? But now they're going to go up the high ground. BDD does not quite get caught out by that Venomous Gale, so he's totally okay for the time being. However, this tier 3 is going down very quickly, and it ends up dying. Now it's going to be the melee. Smiley is chunking it down for the time being with the Searing Arrows, but now he no longer has mana for his Doom combo. Doesn't matter, he's already finished that off. Going to go for the side. DMC is not quite going to die out. Undefined was close enough, it looked like, for the Death Pulse there, but did not actually cast it. Maybe that's Sentry. No, the Sentry was down, so we saw him. Yeah, maybe he was just going for the right-click play. The Death Pulse moved slow enough, it probably wouldn't have made the difference. But maybe it gives his team a little more confidence going in. I don't know. There's a lot of what-ifs there. But what isn't if, or rather what is 1 Rax in favor of neonCore at this point. And they're able to get the first one off the map. I do still feel like this game is in questionable 5's court. They just need to not get picked off. I think it's a really good choice to get the Aeon Disc. But the Aeon Disc can be stopped by the Nullifier. Like, you just wait for the Aeon Disc to pop, and then you cast the Nullifier. But at the same time, at that point, you can get the pipe off, you can get the wand off. If you really, really need to, you get the cheese off, right? So it's not so cut and dry anymore trying to pick out the Necro, and that's really, really good for questionable 5. And now there's smoke coming out. Looks like they're going to go for the Roche play, and Roche actually spawned pretty quickly this time. I think this was close to the minimum spawn time. Looks like this is not necessarily recognized, but the Courier might give them away. Because the Courier isn't spotted, but Smiley is going to see this Courier coming back when it does. He's looking for it. He did see it on this right here. And it looks like neonCore were not able to suss out the fact that Roche was being taken there. And with the... there was a sentry somewhere. They knew that the Clinks was around, so they sent the... oh man, his control might be picked up here. Nah, there we go. Sentry's put down, so he can't kill it off himself. He wants his team to come help him with that. Gonna lose vision? Nope, got it. All right. It's always sad when you do things like that, but they do have Crystal Nova if required, so I'm not gonna have to throw down a ward or something to try and get that out. So now with the Aegis once again going the way of Pink Tops on the Sniper, I think questionable 5, they are not required at this point to go push and take objectives, but I think that it would behoove them to at least consider it heavily, because, you know, right now they're so scared of being picked up by the Clinks that neonCore can... Actually, we're going to have a bit of a team fight here. There's going to be immediately the global coming out to prevent Smiley from just dying. He is forced away. The silencer goes down very quickly. And there's the refresher shard being used actually to get the secondary site. I think that was not expected there. Aeon Disc doing huge amount of work there. And with the refresher shard, actually, the Aeon Disc is up again. So they can just immediately push. Control went over to the top lane to hold it and push it out. But he should be able to get back to his team relatively quick with that Blink Dagger. And yeah, tier 2 mid's going to go down for sure. The only question is if this is going to be a Rax as well. Buyback is available, not on cooldown. So the Clinks Smiley can get back into this game if required. Probably is going to do so to hold the tier 3, and that's probably what Questionable 5 are actually looking for. The only question is if they're able to bait, if neonCore are able to bait Questionable 5 far enough down into their base that the buyback is going to be able to turn it around and get some serious kills out. But with the Aegis and with the just long-range siege potential of Questionable 5, looks like they're not going to get it. Even have the siege creeps helping out with this wave. There's going to be the Aeon Disc popped a little earlier than perhaps they would really find ideal. So maybe this means that neonCore are able to hold their barracks. 50 seconds till Clinks is up naturally. And trying not to use the buyback. There's going to be the Blink Forward and the Doom. BKB used. Force-staffed away by his friend. And the Echo comes in immediately with the Blink as well from 70. And that's going to be the end of the Venomancer as well as the Freezing Field taking out the Spear Breaker. On the backside, Doom dies as well to... Not a Scythe. I didn't see what it was. Probably just the Sniper killing him. And 4 buybacks now expended from neonCore. Questionable 5 say, nah, we know we gotta leave at this point. You have 4 heroes that are completely full. We still have the Aegis, but we have no spells left. We gotta go ahead and back away. By the same token, there aren't really that many spells left. Actually, the Silence is coming up, and all the spells are available. Never mind for neonCore. But still, they had to spend 4 buybacks for that. And now it was a 9k gold lead like 30 seconds ago. It was a 4k gold lead in favor of Questionable 5. The first time they had the gold lead pretty much the entire game. And that's... I don't think that's going to change. There's still certain... Like, neonCore still certainly could play out of their minds and pull this back. But I think the general trend of the game is in favor of Questionable 5 at this point. And... yeah. Dota Plus is not quite decided that's true yet. It actually does think that neonCore has a good chance at this point, and I mean, I certainly understand why. Like, the Silence is huge. The Venomancer is really strong here right now. BKBs are out. No BKBs picked up on Questionable 5 at all yet. So I definitely see where they're coming from, especially with the Spirit Vessel finish. So with the Spirit Vessel, it's going to be a lot harder for Necro to keep his team topped off. And... at that point, maybe neonCore can take some good team fights, especially if they're able to time them well. It does look like, yeah, the Assault Cuirass is going to come out now for DMC as well. But with the Assault Cuirass, yeah, that's pretty good actually. With Smiley, like, and the Assault Cuirass affects buildings now, I'm pretty sure, which makes their siege a little bit better. Still, though, it's so hard to high ground against a sniper, especially when that sniper is continually being given the Aegis by his Ursa. When is the expiry here? So another 45 seconds till the Aegis expires. So once again, Aegis not really going to be used, but it is going to get, secure this tier 3 and the tier 2 as well, in favor of Questionable 5. So they're going to be happy with that. And one thing I will say watching this game just overall, Questionable 5 have done a very good job of choosing their fights and avoiding the ones that they don't want to have. Like, it's 28-18, it looks like, in favor of... and earlier it was like 14-7, right? In favor of neonCore, but the whole time it still felt like Questionable 5 were ahead because the deaths that they were giving up didn't really mean anything because the deaths that they gave up were mostly just delaying, right? Trying to get enough farm on the sniper, enough farm on their Necro and Ursa to hold this game together. And a lot of the deaths they gave up really early ensured that Control had, like a 14-minute Blink Dagger after Arcanes on 4-position Earthshaker. Like, that's not unheard of for sure, but in a game where you're losing in terms of net worth and in terms of kills and in terms of towers, like, that's pretty impressive, honestly.
I ran into that.
But what are we waiting for here? Just a bit of lag? All right, so here's the question. We didn't get to answer it last time. If we're going to play the Shrine game or the Cosmetic game. I think it is the Shrine game this time. Used to be able to do this. What? Did I unbind this button? I might have unbound the button. Oh, you just can't do it? Interesting. I thought you could look in perspective mode for these things. Ah, well. So what do we have? We have Shadow Fiend, which is, We have... What is this? It's in the way. Is that a... I cannot tell from the angle. It's like... It looks like a courier almost. Is it an enchantress? Gambits and exploits await.
Okay, back to killing each other.
Is...
And that double damage could not have been worse.
Is it like a bounty hunter with a really weird set or a Riki with a really weird set? I don't know. But we're getting back into the game, so we'll leave that off for later. Potentially never. It depends on who wins this game, right? Or if there's any more major pauses. BDD smoking up to get some wards down, but throws those wards down under some sentries. Those are going to get taken care of relatively shortly. Now, this one didn't get caught by the sentry, but with the sentry already up, actually, this probably is safe. Like, I don't see... Unless this this tower gets pushed in, which probably is the next objective, honestly, given the wards that just got placed down. I don't really see anybody looking up on this high ground unless they just want to place a ward down. Or if that tower gets pushed in, there might be a plague ward placed, which probably is going to be the way that it goes. It looks like Silencer was a little bit out of position, looking for some ward play. Just ran into the entire enemy team. I don't know if that was a smoke or not. Yeah, it was. So tanking the smoke gank, not the worst thing ever, but that does mean you're down for 60 and don't have buyback. It wouldn't even be off cooldown if you had the money. And that's going to be questionable 5's Q to run up this high ground, it looks like. Smiley has BKB now, as well as BKB on the Doom and BKB on the Venomancer. So it's going to be really, really hard for BDD and who's playing on Earthshaker?
Oh, come on, why is he...
Oh, actually, tower goes down. I'm sorry, the tower's already down, never mind. Just a little bit of split push, it looks like, from Payday. And maybe able to tick down control? Nah, I think he's fine. One more. Yeah, he's totally okay.
Dead boys.
It was pretty close, though. Does he have a Veil? If he had a Veil, that was 100% in his corner. But with that split push, that doesn't have to pull questionable 5 back and not get anything off of the silencer kill. So that's actually really, really good for neonCore the way they played that, especially since since Payday did not die. Looks like Undefined is going to be the target here. Smiley's coming up. There's going to be Necro and Necro. There's going to be a couple extra heroes around, but they throw out the. They make sure that Smiley can't get the Doom combo off because they use that Lotus Orb. Smiley is maybe coming back in. He's dusted up, but he has the BKB no longer, however. He's sitting up in the trees. Is dusted still for the time being. Is going to be able to TP away. Not spotted out, so Global was used. Crystal Maiden's dead. But I think the questionable 5 are still totally okay to continue pushing at least to the tier 2 with the Global down. Looks like one ward tossed up, but not going to have the sentry to see what they want. However, this was dewarded. Or no, it wasn't. Wrong team. That's still there. Charge out, as followed by the fissure immediately, as well as the Scythe. Holding him in place. Scythe does not get the kill, but it doesn't matter. Blink forward by neonCore, or by damage rather. He is taking so much damage from right clicks from the sniper here. There's the dust out as well, holding, or making sure that he is not able to get away for free, or he is able to get away for free, but only because Oh, there's the echo coming out after the fissure, able to kill off the silencer once again. And there was no global, so it's not really a huge loss. Doom, however, doesn't do it dying. Is chased down by Ursa. However, Sniper is dead. Was picked off by Clinks, and Sniper here on the backside. Probably was held in place by Venomancer a little bit as well with the Venomous Gale. However, with only Sniper down, and all of the BKBs expended from neonCore, I do think the Questionable 5 are in a totally fine position to go ahead and take this tower. Does look like a, wow, Shadowblade's coming out next. This control, or this 4-position Earthshaker is just so farmed right now. I mean, let's take a look. His net worth is only 8,000, but like, I don't know, it feels like a lot more than it is, I guess, because the items that he has compared to what he might normally have. I guess it is 40 minutes in. But that tier 2 top does go down. And Roshan, they do check it. It's going to spawn here in a minute and a half. So it's a relatively long. So let's see. This is the spawn point. This would be 11 minutes, I think. So it's a relatively long spawn time for Roshan. One of these days, this will be easier to read. Or maybe I'll just get better at it. Latter is probably more likely. Force have to weigh before... Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, who used that? Necro did. So Lotus Orb also purges the mute from Nullifier. And it's so easy to dodge that. Like, if there were BKBs coming out, I really do feel like Questionable 5 would just be able to walk at... neonCore, and they would not get... I mean, they wouldn't even have to really worry about dying. Like, the team fight would be just 100% in favor of Questionable 5 if they had their 10-second BKBs right now. But there's a smoke coming out from neonCore, trying to go up to the high ground, but maybe it's not the right place. There's going to be a Doom combo here out onto... Oh, man, out onto Ursa. They try to go for the Lotus Orb play, but with the global coming out, it's not going to be... And there's not going to be any heal coming out. There's the Doom now used onto the Earthshaker, who is trying to hide in the trees. Buybacks coming out, however, from Questionable 5. And the question is, what do neonCore do with that? There's no global. There is still a Poison Nova, but there's no Doom. There's no Nether Strike. So with the buybacks, they're just going to go ahead and back away. The Roshan will spawn now. So right now, probably everyone knows, because I think the vision around this is enough for people to see. And it's just going to be a question of who wins this Roshan fight. And I feel like that's probably going to be the winner of the game. So BDD taking some damage here from the Arcane Curse. There's a Century and a Ward play, everyone trying to outvision each other. Roshan is being taken down. Pink Tops walking outside the pit, trying to bait some spells, it looks like, but he's able to bait the last word, and Earthshaker dies on the backside, as well as the charge here onto BDD, who tries to get the Glimmer Cape off, but a crit from neonCore from Smiley is going to mean that he is just completely down. Control has to pick everything up, and he just has to run away. It looks like his team is all dead. Buyback from the Sniper. He's taking some damage, though. Blink away is going to be able to come out. That was 3 buybacks, I think, expended by Questionable 5 to ensure that Roshan is picked up. So I think no one wins that Rosh fight. Like, the Roshan does go in favor of Questionable 5, but they lost 6 heroes for it. Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, I think just no one wins that fight, which means this game is still up in the air for anybody to get. I'm really impressed with how well neonCore are pulling this back, because I definitely felt like Questionable 5 were just like 100%, not 100%, but like 85% going to win this game. But now neonCore are the ones that are pushing up the high ground, and a lot of that I feel like came from the split push play. There's going to be the Doom combo out onto Ursa, and now Ursa is going to lose the Aegis there. He does have the refresher, so he could... Oh, he's going to put the cheese on. Smiley's not dusted, but he is going to go ahead and just get away. This mid is being attacked simultaneously, however, by the other heroes on neonCore, or other players on neonCore. And yeah, at this point, that Shrine's just dead. Smiley does so much damage right now. Multi-shot actually is doing a lot. Like, 3-second strafe duration is really nice. The multi-shot is really nice as well, right? But the multi-shot is like just doing so much work in these fights. Like he's attacking whoever is the most important target, and other people just dying, you know, on the side, almost like a Medusa, with all of the crits that are coming out from the Bloodthorn and the extra damage from the Searing Arrows. Because that's what, like, when he has the Searing Arrows on, that's 390 damage per attack with the occasional 650 damage crit. Like, that's just ridiculous. Let's see if there's another smoke play coming out here. I don't see any smokes. Don't know if there are any available, but plenty of sentries going down. I'm surprised nobody's bought a gem yet. Like, on either team, a gem would be really nice right now. There's so much vision and counter vision around the map that having a gem would just make irrelevant for one team or the other. Well, mostly counter vision at this point. But
No, you're just not gonna go.
there's still some really good vision for neonCore at the moment.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. Oh, fuck.
So what are these teams thinking right now? Questionable 5, they don't have the Aegis anymore. They're looking for a Lincoln's on Ursa to try to survive. Refresher Shard for an Undefined. Not even holding his boots right now, just holding a Refresher Shard so he can cast that Scythe twice. And they're getting the crit. So Questionable 5, they want Ursa to survive, they want Sniper to do more damage. That's how they're playing this game. And let's see, the Shadow Blade Control's gonna just sit here under the Shadow Amulet. They're expecting, I think, neonCore to push into their middle lane right now. What are neonCore doing? They want to get the disarm on the Ursa. They don't want to not die to the Ursa with the Ghost Scepter. What's new here? BOT's Assault Cuirass was finished. Global's actually used here as soon as they see anybody. I don't know if that was a smoke pop. Yeah, that was a smoke pop, but the silence was used immediately. Control coming in is going to get doomed up, is not able to get the echo off, so that's going to be, as also the Aeondis is just going to proc on the side. Looks like over here, Control, or 70's trying to get a kill off. That is going to be the end of the doom to a scythe, however. So now with the Lotus Orb being used, Baboon coming in is going to control up Pink Top for the time being, but he's just going to be able to Shadow Blade away, and the second side comes out. However, neither side went out onto Smiley with the Refresher. That does mean that Aeondis was available again. Smiley has to run away. Looks like 2 major kills, both side kills in favor of Questionable 5, only losing their Earthshaker, although they did lose him before the Echo went off. So they do have the Echo available once he comes back up. How does the buyback look like right now? There's pretty much a full suite of buybacks, so yeah, they're just going to use it. And those buybacks are enough to force Questionable 5 away, and this game is going to continue. Mid lane, or bottom lane rather, we're going to maybe lose Crystal Maiden here. The Soulburn is not enough to finish her off. Wand is going to keep her alive for the time being. Trying to hold Smiley in place long enough to make things happen. There's going to be now the Blink Forward as well as the Death Pulse out into Smiley, who now is safely away. Man, a lot of that was just guesswork. I don't think they had any. Oh, they have a sentry here, so they saw him running through that. They have a sentry here, so they saw him over here. But yeah, they weren't guessing on the spells, I guess. But Clinks does end up surviving, just barely. If they had gotten that Smiley, if they've gotten that dieback on Smiley, like Questionable 5 would just roll down mid right now. As it is, I guess they feel like they can't really yet, and it's quite a ways before we know how long Roshan's going to respawn. It's 2.5 minutes before the minimum time. But Questionable 5, they have a smoke. Oh, they do have a gem now. So I was saying, like, it's weird they haven't picked up a gem. Wait, where? Courier. Oh, there we go. Okay, they put it on Necro. I was trying to figure out where it went. Like, I thought I clicked on everybody and it wasn't there. But
Hey, buddy, can you
looks like Smiley is looking for a pick-off play. Is a little bit afraid of detection, but not stupendously afraid of it, apparently. He is sitting outside for the time being. He's going to go for it. He is able to get it here off onto Ursa. So that's a death, and I think it might be a dieback. Well, not quite a dieback. His buyback's available in 40 seconds, and he does have the money for it. So he will be able to defend by the time the offense is mounted by neonCore. The Shrine's going to go down, but the Shrine should have been dead a long time ago, I think. And neonCore in the latter half of this game have really stepped up. Stepped up their gameplay to the point where it's just so hard for Questionable 5 to actually get in. Even if they win fights, they win fights infrequently enough that the buybacks are available again. However, Gem is up. Control is sitting here under the effect of Shadow Amulet. There's no detection for neonCore. This is the opportunity play, right? neonCore going to try to push high ground, and it looks like they're going to try to push high ground before the Aegis. And with that, this is where Questionable 5 have to hold if they want to win. Like, they cannot afford. They can. I was gonna say they can afford to lose the range tracks. They already did. They cannot. Was it denied? I didn't see when that happened, but they can't afford to lose a fight right now. They have too many buybacks on cooldown. Although they are gonna have them back up shortly, so maybe they. I mean, if they lose the fight, presumably they've already bought back and lost as well. So if they lose this fight, they've lost the game. But if they win this fight, maybe they just push down mid. There's a 4-step forward as well as a BKB forced out from Payday. Now he's going to walk forward, try to get his ult off. Does get the ult. It does hit onto Undefined. Does not hit onto Pink Tops. Pink Tops taking a lot of damage, but he's trying to get back into base. However, he's burnt down, chased down by the Doom. Now there's a lot of damage coming out from Smiley with the double shot. 2 buybacks, 3 buybacks, in fact, immediately. However, Smiley is just chunking down this tower, and now neonCore just going to go ahead and back away. So the 3 buybacks were sufficient to hold the base, but it's still a lot of cost. And again, another 10k swing in terms of net worth. Man, this game is just going to be so much back and forth. Like one team gets a pick off, they go try to break high ground, bunch of buybacks, and rinse and repeat the other direction. Now the team wants to commit too hard because they know the moment they commit and they're wrong, they lose. But if they don't commit hard enough when they should, they probably also lose. So here's another smoke play. 5-man smoke. Lanes are pushed out enough that this should not be spotted out immediately, at least. Pink Top's pushing out bottom. They're going to try to maybe catch Clinks down here. Smiley, what's he going for? He's going for a Scotty. And he has it, in fact, in addition to his... Oh, he spent too much. That actually could be huge. Like, his death cost is 78. He's gonna have to farm 1,000 gold before he dies, or he will not have buyback. That's actually a really costly mistake. I don't think that Questionable 5 are gonna be able to exploit it because there's no way they can know about it. But with the Aegis coming up, man, another maximum time Roshan respawn. That was like, it's like almost at. That might be at the max time. Like, what is that? It's pretty close. Yeah, I don't know precisely what it is, but yeah, that looks pretty damn close to the 11-minute respawn. So what's going on here with the other heroes that are available? Mjolnir finished. The Scotty we talked about. Just some upgrades coming out for DMC.
I gotta kill
Halberd finished, so that's going to be really big for the Ursa. He doesn't get his BKB off in time. And I think the Force Staff's not new. He's just holding onto his money. I don't know how Clinks got caught there, but he actually BKB'd and still died. So he maybe missed his Skeleton Walk TP. Like maybe he didn't try to TP. Must have been... There's a gem, so yeah, with the BKB, like, wouldn't be able to get away. But... Is that an Abyssal? Oh, he just got bashed. So there's no Abyssal, but he must have just gotten bashed to death. And now, did he get his buyback? Okay, he did get his buyback. He got enough gold. That was probably a pretty frightening time period. But now he's dead for this Aegis. This is going to be the 4th Aegis. More refresher shards. Once more probably going on undefined. It looks like maybe neonCore want to try to contest this, but they've got to go really, really fast, and they're not going to make it. That's going to be the end. Refresher Shard picked up by... probably already passed it around? No. Who has the Refresher Shard? Earthshaker. They're going to go for the double Echo play. All right. Double Echo instead of double Scythe. Does he have mana? I guess if he's only casting the Echo and not casting a Refresher Orb. Wait. Oh, he passed it off. Who did he pass it off to? Necro. Okay. They are going for the double Scythe. Aegis, I presume, on pink tops? Yes. So, once again, Questionable 5 really playing the Roshan game well, and that's a lot of what's holding him in this game for so long when neonCore had been so ahead in terms of net worth for so long, right? Like, they're just playing the Roshan game better than neonCore, and they have the heroes to do that as well. Like, they get a pick off, they're immediately going to Roshan, and they can take it really freaking quickly with a sniper and an Ursa. Now neonCore is looking for somebody else. Wait. What? Did he? Oh no, he bought back. Okay, yeah. I was like, what did he buy? Nah, he bought back. So no buyback on Smiley this time, and that means he has to be so careful right now. But let's see. Everyone's just like sitting. They're afraid to move. But now the Shadowblade's finished up on control. And pink tops, what's he going for? It looks like he's going for a Mjolnir as his next pickup. And he has the cheese as well as the Aegis this time. So he's going to have a whole bunch of lives, effectively. Just going to try to ensure that he survives and continues dealing damage for as long as possible. I don't know. Like, it's really hard for either team to do anything right now, because it is so even in terms of just in terms of the power of each team. I mean, Dota Plus says it's 75% in favor of neonCore right now, and that's probably a fair assessment. I probably would give a little bit less favorability to neonCore, but
yes. He's not gonna replace.
But Questionable 5, it's going to be really difficult for them to hold this. And the reason that I wouldn't give quite as much to neonCore is because Questionable 5 have just been doing such a fantastic job of choosing their fights and choosing their timings to make things happen, right? So they waited for this Abyssal. Now they're going to go run at the enemy team, right? And now there's a... Wait. Was this Aeon Disc always there? No, he just bought the Aeon Disc. He doesn't have buyback for a minute and a half, so he figures I just want to have the Aeon Disc to go end the game. So it looks like Pink Top's plan is burn the Aegis, swap the Aeon Disc in, get Aeon Disced, walk away, swap the cheese in, and Smiley's looking for the backstab. Now he's going to go and TP away. What's the plan here? All 5 heroes for Questionable 5 are in the top lane. Like, they don't push as quickly as Klinks can solo. So maybe that's neonCore's plan right now. They're not going to try to fight into Questionable 5. They're just going to take their buildings. And they can. Payday pushes pretty quickly, and Klinks pushes ridiculously quickly, especially with a double damage. But maybe he's going to go fight them. Looks like maybe neonCore don't necessarily know what they want. Questionable 5, though, they know what they want. They want this Shrine dead so they can go ahead and push up the high ground. High ground push is done. Sniper's actually TPing back, though. So no high ground push. A little bit of damage from the range creeps onto the tower, but just making sure that they don't lose buildings. I think that's reasonable. And if Questionable 5 trade right now, it becomes so much more difficult for them to make anything happen in this game. Like, they really do rely on the lanes being even, and they already have one pushing in all the time. So, man, Undefined, he's just so slow without those boots, and has the gem now too. So like, he's gonna cast his spells, refresher, move refresher in. So many slots being used by both teams at this point. I wonder when we're going to see when we're eventually going to see those moon shards coming out. So Baboon, it looks like, is going for a blade mail. Has 3,000 HP, so totally reasonable. Like, just don't hit me, sniper, right? Oh, ethereal blade, interesting. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have buyback. Did the same thing. Like, he needs to get his death cost. Actually, his death cost's not too high. He only needs 150 gold, or 250 gold. It looks like to get his buyback. So, how much for you?
I think I'm done.
You may be able to just spend your stuff. Like, you need to get 1,300. You don't farm that fast, so definitely gonna have to wait. But the hex is probably a really good idea. Like, not getting purged by the Aeon disc means that Undefined is not going to be able to use that Aeon disc to get the refresher off. And oh, there's a Aghanims now. Okay. So cast once, refresh, move Aghanims, move it in. neonCore coming up into the top lane. They want to push in the lane they already have advantaged, while Clink split pushes elsewhere. But Undefined, you know, they can hold their buildings really well. I wonder what Control's doing out here. This is really greedy right now. He's going to get not even Doom. There's a global coming out. Doom isn't even required. And he's just dead. That was incredibly greedy. The global was used to just kill an Earthshaker, so maybe that's all right, but maybe Questionable 5 thought that everybody was behind the Clinks. That's probably what they were expecting. But I think they were. I think that neonCore was showing. Now Questionable 5 are smoked up, looking for a pick off. If they had vision, they probably could get it here onto Chupacabra. Like, he's far enough away, but now he's back in with his team. Questionable 5 even using the freezing field to hold out the creeps. BDD just trying to get a little bit of extra farm up. The freezing field probably isn't going to do a whole lot in the fights, honestly. So it's probably worthwhile. There's the blink forward, or the 4-step forward. However, he gets 4-step forward by his friends as well. And Discus pops. Now he's going to go ahead and get the scythe off, it looks like. Wait for the blade mill to finish off. Scythe is used. That's going to be the end. Refreshes immediately. Or doesn't refresh immediately. In fact, isn't even required to. So nobody's dead so far. Buyback from Spearbreaker means that he's going to be back in. And they're going to need a buyback from Necrophos as well. As well as the Earthshaker. Gems on the ground. Smiley's doing so much damage. Like, he's just carrying the team on his back right now. 3 buybacks, however, expended by Questionable 5. And while there was a buyback, I believe, used on... yeah, the Spearbreaker buyback was used on neonCore. Definitely, as is, that favors neonCore, because neonCore should be able to walk back in right now.
Yeah.
If they're able to get any kind of pick off. How long till the Roshan respawn? We'll see here. Oh, it's a short Roshan respawn, less than a minute. Control coming in. He's looking for the Echo. He's going to get it. Oh, no, he's not going to get it. He has to get it off in order to win this game. Okay, so he gets the Echo off. There's going to be the site as well. Has already had the Aghanims in inventory, so it's relatively low cooldown. Clinks died as well on the backside to Control. He got abyssalled up. Control, however, is being controlled himself. 70 uses the cheese. The gem is used, but with the buyback and the BOT in from neonCore, he's just chunking everybody down. Pink Tops has to, well, he can die here. He just doesn't want to. But 70 has to not die here. He does not have buyback for 7 minutes. Gem is picked up. DMC grabbed it, and the Hex is now finished. Doesn't have room to put it anywhere. Might lose the phase boost for it, but man, this is a tense bit of Dota. BDD does not have buyback. He already used it, so he cannot die here as well. I don't think anybody has buyback left except for Sniper on Questionable 5, and there's only Silencer and Doom on. Oh, there's gonna be that's the Abyssal. He's gonna try to kill off neonCore or Smiley over here, but on the means Sniper actually gets a kill on the backside with the mute. Smiley might be able to kill him off, but a couple right clicks. Oh man, the soul burn is not enough. But it doesn't matter. Smiley is able to finish him off. One right click, one crit. Oh my god, that was insane. A single right click from Pink Drops is sufficient, but they are gonna lose a second lane of racks. And there aren't any buybacks left. I believe it didn't get used by Pink Tops, but that's all that there is, right? And Pink Tops has to hold these buildings out. Payday TPing back to his own base.
Yeah, I stole all of his art.
And Pink Tops is going to just hold these megas for the time being, wait for his team to respawn. There's still going to be another 60 seconds, a minute, without Doom or Clinks once the Necro respawns. So maybe that's going to be the cue for Questionable 5 to try to push this out. Control could push this top lane and then come in, and maybe they're able to get the Roshan at least. Like, they have to know that Roshan's respawned at this point. It was pretty close to minimum respawn time, but it's already been 2 minutes since the minimum time, so most of the time it's going to be up. So Questionable 5 certainly are going to be looking for that play. neonCore are aware of the Roshan being up as well, and they're actually going to go for it. They want to try to get this before Questionable 5 are able to get out there, and the Ursa's not alive yet, so maybe they can. This will be the first Aegis that neonCore are able to claim in the whole game if they're able to get it. But it's going to be slow going without Clinks. Ursa's up in 30. Payday is trying really hard for this. Maybe they're going to get it. They have it down to half. Nah, they're just going to back away. They're too afraid of making this happen. Pink Tops could probably take it himself, actually, really, really quickly. Going to kill off all of the Plague Wards. So now Questionable 5 there, maybe looking for the fight at this point. Clinks is not alive for 7 seconds, has no buyback. If Sniper was in the pit right now, they could probably just end the Roshan's life. Ursa's coming to finish it off, though. So it looks like they're going to try to take a full fight, but a full fight isn't super favorable for Questionable 5, especially since buyback-wise, it's still the same ones. Everyone's got to be really afraid to take this fight right now, but I do think it looks like Questionable 5 are going to go for it. Get on the Roshan, doing a lot of damage. They're in the pit, and it's too late. There's no way for neonCore to get here in time. Down. Aegis goes to Pink Tops. Oh, he has a Rapier. Oh, the Rapier. I did not see it before, but he has to survive. He's hitting everybody. He knows he has the Aegis. He's okay for the time being, and he knows that he can swap in the Aeon Disc once he dies. Is force-tapped away by his friends, or force-taps himself away, rather, with the Hurricane Pike. BDD being controlled up by a Baboon here, but now his Blade Mail's down, so Pink Tops is totally happy to push him, and there is still the friendly lifesteal coming from the Vlads, which means that he's able to heal up while he does the same. And Questionable 5, they take the Roshan fight. They don't lose anybody. And they force out another buyback. They do have to go back to defend their base, but this is the moment at which Questionable 5 can, I think, finally win this game. Of course, the Sniper dies twice. I mean, he has a lot of tools to not. He has the Aegis, he has the Aeon Disc. He doesn't have the cheese. Who has the cheese? Cheese is probably on Ursa right now. Was it used? Might have been used. Yeah, cheese must have been used. I did miss that, but yeah, Questionable 5, they're just pushing down mid right now. They're not going to take the Earthshaker with them. Control is actually just keeping this top lane pushed out. It probably isn't going to make too huge of a difference because he is coming to help his team now, trying to get there as quickly as possible. But at the same time, Smiley is moving towards that top lane, looking for the split push action. He wants to try to take all of Questionable 5's buildings while they take this fight. And no, he's coming back for the fight. He's not going to go for the split push. Just going to TP home, as are his friends. They're going to try to take this fight in a proper engagement. They are ahead. They have one buyback on Doom, but there's also a buyback still on Sniper. However, buyback on Sniper not going to be as meaningful. There's going to be the Doom combo here out on a Questionable 5. He does get Lotus up. Still going to end up dying very, very quickly. Not able to get the Abyssal off at all. Control is Shadowbladed. Now, where is Pink Tops? Pink Tops is just being right-clicked to, well, just being Eth-bladed, rather. Trying to right-click people, but he got disarmed multiple times, and now he's going to turn around. There is not going to be, however, the Vlads. The Echo comes in, is huge there. Is able to kill off... He's able to make sure that Baboon dies. And now it looks like Pink Tops is going to keep going. I was sure he was going to run away, but actually they're going to keep fighting for it. There's still plenty of regen here from Death Pulse, even without the Vlads. And while there is a buyback still on Doom that might have been used right now, there's still a buyback on Doom. I think the split push play was the one that was more likely to work out, but Neon 5, they went ahead and took the play that they saw as more viable. They're going to get the buyback on Doom here. Manta's used. Doom does have the Doom. There is still an Aegis, however, here on Pink Tops, and he's doing a lot of damage. Just trying to kill people off and kill off the buildings. Undefined is keeping him alive for the time being. Fortify is used. Pink Tops, Shadow Blades, or Silver Edges is trying to make things happen. Meanwhile, back in base, BDD is desperately trying to keep his base from his Ancient from falling. Buyback is used from Sniper, not Sniper, but from Spirit Breaker, and they're able to get onto the Sniper. Now there's going to be the Doom out onto Necro. So Necro's dead, cannot get the Refresher Shard off. Has, however, the Aeon Disc on Sniper. He gets Hexed. Aeon Disc is going to pop. There is still going to be the control. This is probably going to be his second death. He does have... does not have the Silver Edge. Rapier is down. Who's going to pick it up? Sniper does buy back. Nobody knows who wants to pick it up. Yeah, they do. They want Smiley to pick it up. Smiley has the Rapier now. He does not have the Aeon Disc, does not have the Aegis, so this is still retrievable. But I think that I think that Questionable 5 outstayed their welcome in the Radiant base. Oh man, that was tense. But it's not over yet. Lost the Lincolns for the Divine, which means he can be killed by the Reapers easily. Especially since he does not have an Aeon Disc. So if he gets scythed, it goes right back the other way. And Sniper, even without... Wait, he's just getting another one? Holy crap. Okay. He says, nah, you have my Rapier. That's okay. I'll just get another one. I play like Havost. But everyone is so afraid to go anywhere right now. Oh, canceled the TP just due to the creep dying. But looks like people are just waiting for the Aegis. It's going to be a while before you even know how long the respawn is. Another 3-4 minutes? 3 minutes? Alright, who is going for what now? The Rapier's finished. Rapier numero dos. And there is still a Refresher Shard. There is still an Aeon Disc. And this time there's a Manta in place of the BOTs. I actually think the BOTs were always out. Yeah, the BOTs were always out. What did he get? Nah, BOTs were always out. But there's a Hex on neonCore. There's an Ethereal Blade on Bad Player. There is... Wait, Global is used. Global is used to try to save... Oh, it doesn't matter! The Rapier number 2 is going to go to Pink Tops. Going to drop his... Wait, nope. Going to go to Ursa. So there's 2 Rapiers in the field on 2 different people. Means that neither one is super targetable or vulnerable. However, Control is going to have to be quick on his fingers with that BKB. Is there buyback? 4 gold. So yes, there is going to be a buyback by the time he gets to the base. Probably just came up. But... Oh man. Venno putting up his Plague Ward defense. Just trying to hold this as long as possible. neonCore would really, really like to not have to buy back on their Clinks right now. And be able to use that buyback for 2 lives on the Clinks. Try maybe win the fight, lose the Clinks, buy back, take the Rapier, and go in the game. But it's so hard. Melee Barracks going to go down. Not really any kind of defense you can put up to that if you're not going to buy back your Clinks, and I don't think they want to. So Undefined, just sitting up there in the front lines. Has 2 Reaper sides. Is going to go for it. Has the Reapers. That's going to be a death, especially with the Ethereal Blade. No, it's not going to be, but it is going to be with the Snipe out from the back lines. However, there's a Blink Forward and a Doom as well as a Hex onto the Sniper. He has the Rapier. He cannot die, but it doesn't matter. Control has a Rapier, or 70 has a Rapier as well, is able to get the Bash off onto the Doom, and he's going to end up going down. Buyback was used by Clinks. But now, what buybacks are available? None. There's no buyback on Doom, no buyback on Silencer. and no money, even if they have the time. The time is coming up relatively soon for Silencer, so now it's 5v3. 2 rapiers on the favor, questionable 5. They're just going to go for the end, and I think they have it. This has to be a world-class defense to hold at this point, and I don't know if it's going to be there. They're going to try for it. Going to go ahead and get the charge out. There's going to be the Lotus to try and try to prevent anything else from happening. There's going to be the site. No buyback available. Not for 3 minutes. So now it's just going to be everyone hitting the throne. There's nothing to be done about it. Meanwhile, on the backside, there was an attempt at a split push play, but there was a fort available for questionable 5, and there wasn't one for neonCore. Even with the split push play, with the double rapiers, that means that questionable 5 were able to take this. Oh man, that was a long, hard fought game from both sides. It just came down to, I mean, it came down a lot of it to Roshan play. Like neonCore were ahead for a lot of the game, but they couldn't secure the Aegis because of the because of how good questionable 5 were as a team and as a draft at ensuring that they always got it, and that made the pushes up the high ground so much harder than they already would be against a sniper and a necro. Like, that was insane. But 2-0 in favor of questionable 5 this time. Man, good start to a new league. I've been Knifan. You can watch at twitch.tv/Knifan or in the client on the Premier Amateur Community League ticket for Season 2. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.